So should you buy the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon Edition variable ND filter? My answer to that is What's up everybody, Joshua Thomas Gray here. Today we're going to be talking about the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon Edition ND, the variable ND. So right now it's like noon o'clock light. I'm shooting at f13, so everything is definitely in focus with this wide angle lens. We'll slap this guy on. Everything's in focus. It doesn't look that awesome, so if we slap on this ND filter, we can drop that f-stop. The only other way to combat this would be you could drop the f-stop. I want to shoot at 2.8. Horrible. Doesn't look good at all. So the only way to fix that without an ND is to crank your shutter, as in have a really fast shutter speed. But that just makes everything look really jittery and terrible because it's capturing the frame super fast. In video, you're capturing 24 frames every single second. It's running through, and then that just streams all of the images together, and every second you're seeing 24 frames. I think because we've watched films for so long that our brains are also just used to what the typical cinema camera was shooting, which was like a 180-degree shutter speed. So if you're shooting 24 frames a second, most of these cameras, you just set it to 1/50th of a shutter speed. So if we put an ND on, that allows us to shoot at a fast f-stop or like a low, so 2.8 to get that blurry background, but it also allows us not to crank the shutter speed, so it's not so fast. So if we slap this dude on, now as you can tell, it's so dark you can't even see me. If I go to 1/50th, now it's actually too dark, which is my mistake. I bought way too dark of an ND. All right, so now this is what it looks like when you have the ND on. I'm at 1/50th on my shutter and 2.8. However, it's mid-daylight, super sunny, and I'm at ISO 800. I made the mistake of buying the ND that's the 6-9. It's just like way too dark. I don't know when I would want to use this. It's literally, I'm in California. There's tiny little clouds. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm shooting at 800 ISO right now. But for me, I definitely didn't mean to order the dark one, and it kind of sucks because this is like $50 more. So yeah, I don't know about that. My initial thoughts are I'm super excited. I think the skin tones on this Polar Pro Peter McKinnon Edition variable ND is actually really impressive. And I'm also noticing that when you spin, the cheaper variable NDs start to get these crazy, like weird dark spots in just random places. Mostly I'm not noticing that with this. I feel like it's actually pretty good. I feel like this variable ND is actually doing a really good job of, as I'm spinning it, it's distributing, like darkening the image across the whole pane. And right now I'm at 16 millimeters, where most of the cheaper variable NDs just completely start falling apart. There's crazy vignetting and weird dark patches just in random places on the images. So you kind of have to make sure that you're watching your images and making sure that you're not getting that crazy stuff. Now I got in front of the sun, so the sun is literally hitting my face at noon o'clock, and I'm still at ISO 400. In reality, if I just go into the shade, I'd be having to shoot at like 1200 ISO, and I don't know why you would ever want to do that. I paid $300 for this variable ND, which might sound like a lot, but in reality, really high-end ND filters are really expensive. Even just like the pane glass single NDs, some of the nicer ones that we were shooting with, $400 each. And it's definitely not doing the magical like spinning and changing how dark it is and whatnot. And so $300 is definitely not the cheapest option, but from what I'm noticing, the color that you're getting with this on is actually, I feel like, making my images look better. And the skin tones specifically, I like a lot with this ND on it. The ability to have a variable ND, so we can get darker and lighter just by spinning this thing, and that it's not totally freaking out and messing up the image like a lot of the cheaper ones do. That also makes it seem to be a little bit more worth it. If you're gonna, you know, pay $150, but then if you spin your variable ND and it completely ruins your image, I don't really understand what the point of that is. You might as well have just bought individual NDs and have to switch them out each time, because you can't even really use a variable ND if it's just gonna ruin your shot. Well, I don't know what else to say, guys. I think we should just run around and grab some footage, let the footage speak for itself. Oh. All right, here we go.
Have it all, it's just a state of mind. No matter what they say, you know you're always right. You got a heart of gold, the moon is on your side. No matter where you go, you're always in the light. Always in the light.
So one of the most common ways that people describe like what is an ND, they just say they're sunglasses for your camera, which is pretty accurate. All it's doing is just making it darker so that your camera doesn't have to be so crazy huge in its eyes and it's burning its retinas, or the sensor on the camera in this case. So you're able to adjust your aperture and have it lower to have the background not all in focus. That's pretty much it. And it allows you to keep your shutter speed at the 1/50th, which is really what you want if you want your footage to look more cinematic. I'm actually just gonna like throw in some of the footage from when we were in Guatemala.
Don't you know you're not alone? Won't you come into my life, into my life? Don't you know you're not alone? Won't you come into my life?
Come on, hair. Just on the street here, trying not to get ran over. So, should you buy the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon Edition variable ND filter? My answer to that is maybe. It's $300, so it's definitely not your cheapest option. I just saw that the dudes at Moment have made a variable ND, and it's only $150. So I'm really interested to check that out and try it and compare it to this one, because I have a feeling, again, I've not yet tried it and I don't know, but I have a feeling it's actually gonna be pretty comparable. I could be totally wrong. It might be way worse. Polar Pro might be doing a way better job on this. Depending on budget and what you're working with, $150 is a lot cheaper than the $300 option on this. Like, you could buy 2 of the Polar Pro filters for the price of this one. However, with that said, you don't really have to buy 2 of these. Just buy the big one, the 82mm, and then buy the ring adapter to step up your smaller lenses so that you can use the 82 on all of your lenses. There's no need to buy like a 77mm and an 82 just so you can use it on your 2 lenses. Just buy a ring adapter to step it down or up. That's pretty much all you need to do. Shoot. That's a bummer day. Dang. Sailboat down. Didn't make it. Casualty. Light is so bad, you guys. Is there a photo shoot going on back here? Who's this? What is happening here? Oh, okay. That's a quick little overview of the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon Edition variable ND filter. Obviously, if you want to film, especially run and gun, YouTube style stuff, this is a great option. It is not the cheapest option, but it's also not the most expensive. There are definitely Indies that are out there for professional use that are way more expensive than this one. So I do like that now there's an option of this middle ground, because a lot of the cheaper ones are just garbage. They ruin the color, they just suck at the variable part, so then it's just like, what's the point? Overall, I'm very pleased with this. I'm very disappointed that I bought the wrong one. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what kind of variable Indies you're using and what you're noticing, what you like, what you don't like in the comments below. And that was like a Peter McKinnon thing right there. I mean, that's pretty appropriate, using the Peter McKinnon edition. What's up, Peter McKinnon? Variable Indie. This is getting ridiculous. Any announcements? Mark and I just got back from Guatemala. We're gonna be dropping a couple videos here very shortly, or they're already up. So check that out. It was an awesome time. We got to hang out at Eagle's Nest at the children's home. Mark and I spent that time though a lot just kind of reflecting on what we want to do and the goals that we have and the ambitions and the whole entire purpose behind everything we're doing. If we create these films and we try to bridge a gap between cultures of people groups that are in war with each other, how can we bring peace? That's ultimately what I want, but when I say it out loud, I feel like, well, frick, now we're talking about politics. It is really hot in this blazing sunlight. I'm stuck with having to shoot in absolute terrible lighting conditions. I'm just rambling at this point. Again, thank you guys so much for checking out the videos on the channel. Make sure to check out the travel vlogs, the films. A month ago, we dropped a film called Hello, My Name Is.
You got your girlfriend pregnant in high school, and then you dropped out. They're never gonna have anything to say to anybody. You need to just stay here. Nobody is gonna care to hear what you have to say.
You have nothing to say to anybody. You're nothing. You're nobody. You're nobody. You're a nobody. Nothing.
It would mean a lot to me if you check it out. Other than that, guys, you're awesome. You matter, your story matters. That's it, I'm out, I'm leaving, bye. I want coffee. I just want some coffee, some iced coffee. I really want to go surf. I really also just want Mark here. I'm all alone, there's no one here. Just sitting on the beach, and definitely want to get this Iraq film done. Stay tuned, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We're gonna be coming at you with a whole lot more photo and video gear reviews coming very soon, probably weekly. So let me know in the comments what you want to learn about, what gear you want to see, and I guarantee that I will do my best to review it. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, peace. Just trying so hard in life, getting beached, doesn't know what to do in life anymore. Such a bummer. That would suck so bad to have a boat. and then to find out that it's freaking washed up on the shore. Poor little dude. Hope you do okay. So hot. Should not be wearing a jean jacket, pants, and shoes right now. At this point, guys, leave me. Leave me here in the sun to wither away and die.